Hi, my name is Siti Nurhafizah binti Aziz. My metric number is A19B0861. Today, I would like to present about data description of UMK's intake student in 2017, 2018, and 2019. The data we found on Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi KPT website. This is the table of the data. After found the data, we need to calculate frequency distribution. The number of the sample, or N, is 15. By using the formula, the number of class is 16. Next step is calculate the class with using formula. That the formula is maximum entry minus minimum entry limit divide by number of class. So the class width is 771. Next, the next step is set the individual class limits like the table below. After we got it, now we need to calculate the midpoint, relative frequency, and cumulative frequency. To calculate midpoint, I use the formula of midpoint, that is lower class limit minus upper class limit divided by 2. So the midpoint is 416, 1187, 1958, and 2729. And the next is calculate the relative frequency. To calculate the relative frequency, I use the formula, that is data of class frequency and sample size. The number of sample size is 15. The formula is F divided by N. So the relative frequency is 0.6, 0, 0.2, and 0.2. Lastly, calculate the cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency is a frequency class plus frequency previous class, such as 9 plus 0 equal to 9, 9 plus 3 equal to 12, 12 plus 3 equal to 15. So that's all about the data description. Thank you.
A very good day, Madam. I'm Nitya Sri Tirumurtilu. My metric number is 19B0418. Today, I'm going to present on graphical representative. There are two types of graphs, qualitative graph and quantitative graph. In our assignment, we are going to use quantitative graph, which it consists of histogram, ogive, and frequency polygon. To draw a histogram graph, we need to have a frequency, lower boundary, upper boundary, and midpoint. From this, we can draw a histogram graph. Histogram graph, there is no space between each bars. Next, on ogive graph as shown in the slide, it can be formed through lower boundary, upper boundary, frequency, and cumulative frequency. It's kind of line form graph. Next, on polygon graph, to form this, we need frequency and midpoint only. So here we can see at the end it will give a shape. It gives a shape, a line graph, which at the beginning it touches the x-axis, till the end it touches the x-axis. So here it gives a form of shape as shown in the graph. Thank you from my part.
I'm Komudi Tiagu. My metric number is A19A0224. In this assignment, I'm going to explain about the numerical descriptive measure. A numerical descriptive are divided into four parts, which are central tendency, measure of position, measure of variation, and shape of distribution. Measures of central tendency. It is divided into three parts, which is mean, median, and mode. Mean is defined as the sum of data entries divided by the number of entries. The formula of mean is as shown on slide. The value of mean in this report is 1187. Next is median. Median is the value that lies in the middle of the data when the data set is ordered. The formula is stated on the slide. And the value of median in this report is 673. Next is mode. Mode is defined as the data entry that occurs with the greatest frequency. The formula for mode is as shown on slide. The value of mode in this report is 416. Next is measures of position. Under measure of position is quartile. To find the interquartile range is upper quartile minus lower quartile. And the value of interquartile is 1927.5. Next is measures of variation. There are three parameters that are used to quantify the amount of variation in a set of random variables, which is range, variance, and standard deviation. The formula for the range is maximum data entry minus minimum data entry, where the value of range in this report is 3080. Next is variation and standard deviation. The value of variance is 1019041.71 and the value for standard deviation is 1009.48. And finally is the shape of distribution. Shape of distributions is population with the same mean and standard deviation can still have distributions with very different shapes. And the graph is as shown on the slide. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Azizi. My matric number A1980236. Today I want to talk about analysis of SPSS output. The first one is the measure of center of tendency. For measure of center of tendency, the difference between manual calculation and SPSS output for mean is negative 14.327 and median is negative 565 and mode is negative 348. The minor difference in mean, median and mode prove that the result get from manual calculation is almost same as the result that get from SPSS. Measure of variation. For measure of variation, the difference between manual calculation and SPSS output for range is 0.00. Variation is 578042.642 and standard deviation is 1163.278. There is no change in ratio that the answer for manual calculation is the same as SPSS output. The minor difference is standard deviation and variation due to the number of decimals used during manual calculation. Next is measure of position. For measure of position, the difference between manual calculation and SPSS output for first quartile is negative 283.75. Third quartile is 55.75 and the interquartile range is 339.5. The minor difference in the first quartile, third quartile, and interquartile prove that the result to get for manual calculation is almost same as the result to that get from SPSS output. Shape of data distribution. The shape of data distribution is symmetric when a vertical line can be drawn through the middle of a graph of the distribution and the resulting halves are approximated. Next is theory modeling. ANOVA analysis. In this assignment, we use the decision rule using p-value as the method to identify whether the null hypothesis would be reject or fail to reject. The significance level is set 0.05. In this ANOVA analysis, we will get the null hypothesis is sign or p 0.05. ANOVA analysis, the sign value is 0.000. Therefore, we reject the null hypothesis if the sign value is less than 0.05. So, that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello to everyone. My name is Muhammad Karul Anwar bin Ishaq. My metric number A19A0354. Okay, today I want to talk about multiply regressions. Okay, this part we need to see at the table, ANOVA table. Okay, from the table we can know the p-value or significant value from the ANOVA table is more than 0.05, which mean that no variable which are years 2017, 2018 and 2019 can be used to model as a index. Next, I want to talk about confidence interval. Okay, at this part, we need to see the table again. Okay, from the table, we have set the confidence interval by 99%. Thus, our significant level is 1%, where 100% minus 99%, and then we can get the 1%. Okay, for index, the confidence interval rest are from 72.3868 to 2015.0799. Okay, last I want to talk about Pearson correlations. Okay, we have to do the same way. We need to see the table. Okay, from the table, the R values between student and index is 0.278. There is with positive correlation between student and index. And then the R value between index and years is 0.128. There is weak positive correlation between index and years. Okay, thank you everyone.